Alright, the MW2 beta has just ended, and I want to give you guys my honest opinions and thoughts about the beta and the game at its current state. So please take these opinions with a grain of salt, as things can change. Plus, I feel like I have some credibility to my opinion since I've been playing Call of Duty for over 10 years. I've been playing since MW3. Also, I want to talk about how scummy Activision's custom support is, but I'll talk about that at the end. It revolves around the CDL beta codes they dropped on August 7th. For the CDL champs, like, they're just completely scummy over there, and they do not listen at all, which has been a trend for a while now. Like anything Activision related, they just don't listen to the fan base, and I guess they also don't listen to customers in customer support. But let's talk about the MW2 beta. Overall, I'm gonna give it a 6 out of 10. In the beta, there was a few bugs. There was an obvious meta being made, so you couldn't really try out all the guns. I mean, you could, but you weren't going to have a great time using them. But the main thing that kind of kills my vibe with this game, just like the other games, is SBMM. I know it's never going to go away. I've been adapting to it. It's just super annoying how I can only pop off every so often. It's like after I get completely dumpstered on, then I'll have a good game. But then after you have that good game, you're going to get dumpstered on again and repeat the cycle. But overall, 6 out of 10. It's literally on par with Vanguard. I just know it's going to be another Call of Duty that I'm going to play. It's nothing like Modern Warfare 2019, where I played the beta and turned it off after like the second or third day and canceled my pre-order. This year, I think it's going to be a okay COD. I don't think it's going to be the best Call of Duty ever that some people are claiming. But let's talk about the pros and cons about this beta. And I know it's going to sound like I have more cons than pros, because there is. I have a whole list. But I'm going to try my best to be in the middle since this is a beta, but I still have some concerns about this game in the future. So the number one pro that I actually want to say is that I like how you have the ability to pick between kill streaks or score streaks. I didn't start using score streaks till the last day of the beta, and I really wish I would have switched to that sooner, because those points you get from your UAVs and counter UAVs actually build up your streak, which is really nice. This one's kind of like in the middle of pro and con, but I kind of like the 3-lane map situation. It's just very, very, very complicated with a lot of flanks. I mean, I don't like how complicated it is because there's like multi-levels to it. Like you have to look on the ground floor, and then there's a second floor, and there's several headies to get onto on most of the maps, I want to say. But the good plus about it is just the amount of flank routes. With this game, they're like forcing you to be tactical, so those flank routes are actually very crucial, especially in S&D, because I actually got to play some search and destroy for the first time ever in Call of Duty since I don't know how long. I'll be dropping those videos soon because I actually popped off. I also like the colors in the game. It didn't look so bland. What I'm really just trying to say here, I just like having colorful maps because it's more aesthetically pleasing to the eye. Another pro is how they brought back my favorite weapons, which are the MP5, the M4, the AK-74U, which sadly is the meta, at least for the beta. I'm not sure if they're going to switch those guns up when the game fully drops, but I'm kind of happy with the weapon selection we have because there's some really good guns there. I also like how they brought back 6v6, like pure 6v6. And if you guys wanted to go to a more like ground war thing, there's legit ground war. It's not like Vanguard where you have the tactical and blitz playstyle selection, which I absolutely hated. Literally feel like they're like splitting the fan base, so you had to rock like the all filter in order to get into a match faster. Speaking of matches, I like how I loaded into matches a bit quicker. In Vanguard, I literally felt like sometimes it will take up to 30 minutes to find a match, but for this beta, I got into matches pretty quickly. And lastly, for a pro, is how fast they dropped patches for their beta. I remember on the third day of the beta, there was a score streak glitch when you're using their lightning strike. I forget what it's called, but it's like their version of the lightning strike from BO2. And whenever you pulled up the tablet to like put the markers down, you just stayed on your tablet the whole time. I think it's like a 30-second countdown, so you're just sitting there with your tablet out and you couldn't call on your streak and you couldn't exit the damn score streak until the timer ended and you put it away. Like, I hated that, but on the fourth day they fixed that, which is great. It means they're somewhat listening to us, but there's still some things they're just not gonna change at all, and we're complaining about it the most, which is just the mini map and the footsteps. I think those are the top two concerns right now. But now let's go over the cons. I know the top two are gonna be footsteps and mini map for most people, but my main concern, because I know they're they're not going to change anything about the minimap. They might change the footsteps a little bit, but my main concern is healing in the game. I feel like it takes forever for you to get your health back, which really sucks because you have to like slow down your playstyle completely. Because if you push out with a little bit of red on your screen, you're going to get deleted. But then yes, footsteps need to get turned down a lot. When I played Search and Destroy, I couldn't really rush. Like I want to get to a bomb site, I want to plant it and force the defending team to just engage. But you can't really do that because if you're just going to run straight to a bomb site, your loud footsteps that sound like Godzilla running across the damn floor, and if the enemy has a good headset, they're going to hear you, and it really just ruins the whole route. The footsteps need to be addressed. Like in Black Ops 2, you didn't need deady. Yes, your footsteps were audible, but you didn't need dead silence. Like I want that situation, since you know dead silence is not a perk, it's a field upgrade, which I kind of want to address right now. The dead silence field upgrade, it's not a bad thing in my opinion because you get it so fast, but there's been several clips on Twitter where people are showcasing how rocking dead silence doesn't really make your footsteps dead silent like how the field upgrade is named, which kind of sucks. But now let's talk about the minimap. I hate having no red dots on the minimap. It's just a visual cue of where to go and where they're spawning and stuff like that. It's just great for map awareness. Without it, you're kind of guessing where to go. Yes, it does pop up on the compass, but that really doesn't do much. You just know the general vicinity of where the red dot's coming from, but you don't know exactly where it's at. And if you're so concerned about being a little red dot on a mini-map, rock Suppressor and rock Ghost. These two things have been in the game for the longest time to counter it, but they flat out said they're not going to change the mini-map at all. My fourth main concern, why did they take away the enemy nameplates? Like, I need those red enemy nameplates. Like, the only way to get rid of that is the rock Cold-Blooded. It's been in the game for I don't know how long if you didn't want to get spotted that easily. But without the nameplates, you can lay on the floor or lay in a dead body and act dead and gun down people. I had that happen to me several times. Plus, there's been several moments where I mistake an enemy as my teammate because that blue dot, like if they're on the other side of the map, the blue dot will appear over people like running right underneath it, and it's really confusing. I don't understand why they took away the red enemy nameplate at all. The fifth thing that really made me mad was just the weapon trees. They just made it super complicated to unlock weapons. I just don't understand why they're going this more complicated route. And speaking of guns, I absolutely hated how some weapons had a select fire glitch where you go from single to fully automatic, but the icons were completely wrong, and it really screwed me over in gunfights. And back to overcomplication, why do they overcomplicate the create a class system? Plus, that was so buggy. I know it's a beta, but that create a class system was absolutely frustrating to deal with because he put it on a single line and you had to select it and then hit another button to add attachments. And then with the attachments, I absolutely love how you can incorporate your blueprints. I'm pretty sure the blueprint applies to all attachments on the weapon, so you don't lose the aesthetic look of the weapon. But I absolutely hated how you had to hit X to add attachments, and then you had to hit X again on the attachment to add the skin to it. It's just so complicated. Like, why? And then the perk system, I don't understand why they're going this route, but it's cool, I guess, because in the past I was only using 2 perks in the pick 10 system. But the thing I hate is when you're making the perk package and how it wouldn't save after you pick your perks, and then you're like, okay, cool, and you back out and then it just goes back to default. And once again, overcomplicating things. The menu screen, why did they separate the game modes like that? Like, there's like a TDM and domination quick play, then there's a hardpoint playlist, there's an S&D playlist. Why can't you just do it like in Vanguard where you have all the game modes listed and you select what game mode you want to play and then you press quick play to get into a match? I don't know why they just do that. Maybe it's just a beta thing, so hopefully they'll have that fixed when the game releases, but still very complicated. The next thing I want to talk about, the play of the game bug. If you guys recall in Vanguard, I think it's like almost 99% of the time when you get a play of the game, it just randomly ends and everybody's bodies just flop. Like, why have the play of the game incorporated if you're not going to show the whole entire play and have it be buggy? And the last 2 things I want to talk about, the visual effects. So basically, when you're shooting your gun with the iron sights, the muzzle smoke and the muzzle fire can actually disrupt what you're shooting at. And lastly, the advanced movement system in this game that they're trying to combat, you know, slide canceling and all that. It was very frustrating versus PC users. I think they figured it out quickly how to slide cancel, and when they turn that corner, you're just done. It's such an advantage. And I tried to do the whole slide canceling thing, but I couldn't get the hang of it since, you know, they got rid of the traditional way. I absolutely hated that. And plus, when people bunny hop over a corner and gun you with complete perfect accuracy somehow. Whenever I bunny hop the corner, I get gunned. But yeah, those are my cons. I know it's a pretty hefty list. Like I said, take it with a grain of salt. Plus, everybody is entitled to their own opinion, so I want to hear you guys' opinions on the Modern Warfare 2 beta down below. Overall, I think this is going to be an okay Call of Duty to play. Hopefully they fix some things and listen to the fan base a little bit more. But now let's talk about how scummy Activision is. So if you guys recall, CDO Champs, they were doing randomized drops with the beta codes. I was one of the lucky ones to receive one, and I had a pop-up on my Call of Duty companion app, and it said, you know, wait 2 weeks, you'll get a code through email. Well, it never showed up. I waited over a month, literally contacted Activision support because I wanted my code, and they just literally kept replying with, be patient, be patient, be patient. Even when the beta was out, they said, you might get it today or tomorrow, just be patient. And the early access beta ended, right? Because it became open beta for everybody, and the early access was gone, and I was absolutely frustrated because I was told I won a early access beta code, which I never got, and all they did was just say, be patient, and be patient, and never gave it to me. I'm still frustrated that they said I won something, but I didn't. The customer support, those guys were not listening at all, and every single email I sent them, I explained the situation, but the response was just be patient. Or the very last one, which really made me mad the most, was, well, the beta is open for everybody, so you don't need a code anymore. When my main complaint was, you guys said I was gonna get a code, I never got it. I even said in my emails that next time you do this, actually stay true to your word, then lie to your fan base. But that is my situation with Activision support. I know Activision is never gonna see this, but you know, to those that helped out with the case, thank you guys so much for wasting my time. Shout out to my brother, by the way. He's the one that actually pre-ordered it for me as a birthday gift, because my birthday was on 9/21, and then the beta dropped on Xbox on 9/22. I was like, perfect timing. Oh, shout out to my brother, Black Mist 66, my duo. Well, if you guys did enjoy today's video, make sure to drop a like, subscribe if you're new, turn on post notifications. Like I said, comment down below your guys' thoughts and opinions about the Modern Warfare 2 beta. By the way, I'm gonna be dropping my Road to Max level series in the Modern Warfare 2 beta this week. So if you guys want to see some Modern Warfare 2 beta gameplay, stay tuned for that series because it's gonna show the good, the bad, and the ugly, like every single match till I get to level 30. But I'll catch you guys in the next video. Have a good one.